Hi everybody, good afternoon. This is Jean here, Jean Truelove from Truelove Quilts for You. I'm going to be announcing in just a few minutes the new project that I'm going to be working on. And I just have to tell you, I've actually made this video of the new project last week. I think I had told you that I was going to be sharing with you. I'm going to sort of scrap that video and I'm going to re-edit it with this part in it, just briefly talking about my next project. However, I want to just again to address in a more serious vein, as opposed to like, oh, lovely quilting project, oh, let's get on with it, because our lives are wonderful when lots of people's lives aren't. The tragedy, the disaster and the tragic and the horror and the horrificness that is happening not just in Florida. I didn't mean to exclude the recent crises in Canada, from Fiona and in Cuba, and it wasn't that long ago that Kentucky had tornadoes, and all over the world. It's almost embarrassing. You can't keep track. It's like school shootings. Like, oh, didn't that happen last week? Oh, which disaster was that? Oh, what hurricane? And here we are, sort of like, what is that expression? And NIMBY, not in my backyard, right? It's like, life is fine, life is wonderful. We've had a touch of it, but we still count our blessings, because here we are, and there are the people all over who are undergoing these horrific times that we're living in, and the effects of the weather, the changing weather, and watching and seeing the images of the rescues and of the people who are in shock. They have lost everything, and we can relate to that on a small scale, but here we are, we're safe, and we are happy to be surrounded by people that we love, and they have their lives, yes, but easier said than done when everything that you have ever owned or is gone. And I do know I'm thinking of somebody in particular here on my channel who my heart goes out to, because in Superstorm Sandy, you know who you are. That's what happened. You lost everything 10 years ago. And it makes headlines for, 3 or 4 days. I remember the flooding in Germany and in Belgium, I believe it was last year. All of these horrific things that are happening. And, what can we do? We can pray. We can pray for our brothers and sisters who are there. We can pray for the communities, for their sanity. I do know that 3 of our sons in particular, who have wives, with their blessing and with their help, have gone for disaster relief down to Florida to help. When Katrina hit in Louisiana many years ago, if you remember, we owned an RV, and members of the family drove our RV down with supplies for disaster relief. But other than that, it's donations, it's prayers, and if we have a chance to help somebody, we have to do that, because it's horrific. It is just horrific. And I'm Ian, my husband, Ian, the kindest, nicest, sweetest man, who, again, the hurricane has been named after, not after him, on the I think they just go by letters. It happened to be Ian. It was funny because we were rendered homeless in Ida, 3 letters, IDA and IAN, just horrible, horrible, horrible. He was saying to me, stop watching the news, stop watching, because the horror that is unfolding. I remember, I believe Stefan in Germany, one of my friends there on YouTube, had seen and witnessed some of the devastation in Germany with the floods, and people up in Nova Scotia and Newfoundland, and there, the disasters are just unbelievable. So I am going to be shortly, right now, announcing my next project. Again, I'm taking a little bit of a breather. I had done a video all like, my next project, and I thought that's not appropriate. However, having said that, we had last week gone to a very happy occasion, our sons, Justin and Janae's, their 15th wedding anniversary, and I had, on the video that I had edited, I had put some pictures up, and I think I will end this video with some lovely photographs, you know, of our blessings. And I'm sure you all out there, not all of you, have blessings that we can count every day, and thank our God that we are alive, and that we have, you know, we have experienced badness, but we are safe, and just keep these people in our prayers, and whatever practical help we can do. Now on to my project. I'm not going to be going into depth. I will be doing that in the next couple of days. I'm going to be making a quilt. I've never made this quilt before. I have been watching YouTube videos because it's not it's not a hard project, I don't think, but it's a very step by step, and I've never done this before, so I'm a beginner. So if you want to follow along with my next quilt, I'm going to be doing it in part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, because I just don't fancy killing myself again after getting over COVID. I'm 99% better, but I do get tired, and filming and editing, blah, blah, blah. So I have seen YouTube videos anywhere from about 20 minutes describing this quilt to about an hour and 20 to two or three parts. So I'm going to be what's going to be. The quilt that I'm trying to embark on is called a one-block wonder. Now, or a kaleidoscope quilt. Now, I have to be honest, I have seen this quilt or quilts made in this method with hexagons in the past, and more so one-block wonder quilts. And I thought to myself, I've seen them for years, I thought to myself, do I really like that quilt? And I thought, no, I don't like those quilts. Because in my own mind, even though I'm a busy visual person, it looked like there was a lot of fabric going on, a lot of stuff going on, and it looked like, you know, you cut up a whole bunch of fabric to put it all back together to look like one piece of fabric. And then I was actually looking at them and I'm thinking, oh, I love them. However, I love the fact that you can use a panel. That's all. It's a one-block wonder with a panel. Look it up on YouTube. There's a whole bunch of videos that I'm watching too to figure out how to make it. As I said, it's not very hard, but there are lots of steps. Now, there are a million panels out there. You know that. I love there's thousands of them on the site that I use, equilter.com, and they come in all different sizes. The beauty of this quilt, I believe, having watched these videos, is whatever size panel that you want to get, maybe 24 inch by 44 inch, or a small square pillow, that will dictate the size quilt you make. So I can't give you, oh, this is, and I don't know what I'm going to be doing. I don't know how big it's going to end up. So that's the beauty of it, though, actually. And the beauty of it also, if you actually go and look at what people know what they're doing, is you can arrange your rows, not your hexagons, no Y seams, no curved piecing. It's very straightforward. You can arrange your cut pieces, which again will be, you know, step 12 maybe for me, the way you want. Now, what I am going to be doing is I'm going to be taking down this little quilt over here on my yellow wall. I'm going to be making a sort of a yellow quilt, we show you, and I'm going to be putting up a piece of batting, and that will be my design wall, because I think you sort of need that, or a large table, which I don't have here. So I'm going to be putting up a little bit of batting, because I think once we start arranging our blocks, as it were, our rows, you're going to need a space to figure it out, because we have to sort of figure out the layout, and then we put the quilt together. But again, that will be in part 73. For now, I'm just going to show you, I had gotten this. These are from equilter.com. I will put that up wherever I put it up, the panel. It's a 4-lady panel. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 images on this particular panel that I'm using. So my quilt will be using, I believe it's a panel, it's about 16 by 21. You get 4 images in one panel, okay? So I'm just going to be using one panel and building from there. However, I'm using one panel for the main part. The kicker is with a One Block Wonder quilt, you need to buy, I'm going to be needing, to make this quilt, I'm going to be needing 7. Yeah, cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. You're going to be needing 7 panels. 1 image, well, you get 4 images, so technically you could make 4 quilts. Technically you can make 4 quilts. I'm going to be using 1 image for the main part, and then I'm going to be cutting up the 6 other panels exactly like this. I'm going to be cutting out the exact same image. You understand that? So if you get a panel that's just 1 image, you're going to be needing 7 of them. But that is expensive. But the initial cost for any quilt, as you know, quilting is expensive. So I'm going to go into it in a little bit more depth. I have already got my panels here. I have purchased my panels, my 6 panels, but I'm only going to be using 1. So as I say, technically, this size panel that I get 4 images, I could be making 4 quilts, 4 different quilts, because of the way it's made. But again, I'm not going into the details of it. However, what you are going to be needing is you're going to be needing your 7 panels, whatever size they are. The construction method is the same. You'll just be making more rows, more triangles. You are going to be needing either a ruler that has on its marking a 60-degree ruler, a 60-degree triangle ruler. Now, you know me, I'm not all about gadgets and gizmos, although I have bought tons. I do have this. This is a Marty Mitchell 60-degree triangle ruler, 2" by 6". And let me see. This is the ruler here. Okay, 60-degree. But on actual rulers, they have either Omnigrid or Creative Grids or whatever ruler that you have, June Taylor's, they will have the markings for 60 degrees. I have them, but I just thought, I think I've had this. This is a little bit more practical for me, just to be able to cut the triangles. That's all. And I've been looking at the tutorials, and this template ruler actually has the cut off. Let me just see that, if you can see that. That has the cut off top there. Oh no, it has a cut off. Oh, it's cut on every side. Well, this is what I'm going to use, and I hope it works out. I thought it was just one cut off. It's cut off on all 3 sides. Well, that's good. That's good. I guess I don't know. I have to go back and look at some more videos. But this is what I have, and I just thought it was interesting. Cut 60-degree triangles for patterns such as these. Okay, so we have the spider web, a lot of Sugarloaf Mountain, Thousand Islands. Yeah, so you will need a ruler with a 60-degree triangle, and also you're going to be needing, and I have actually had to purchase some because I thought, oh, that does make sense. Some flat head pins. I got the little flower flat pins because the way we do it, you have to pin your fabrics, your panels, your 6 panels. You put one aside for your main panel, and then your 6 panels we have to pin together, and then you cut. And if you have like a bobblehead, like a glass head pin, your ruler won't stay. Again, I'm not all about buying extra things, but it made a lot of sense. So I got some flat head pins, okay? That's pretty much all you need for the top of this quilt. My quilt probably will measure, I think it's on this wall, probably like a throw quilt, like a small lap quilt. Again, I can't give you the measurements of whatever size your quilt, but the construction will be the same, however size panel you're going to be using. And hopefully I can make some sense of the way it's constructed as I go along, again, because I haven't done this. So we will be embarking on this little project, my next little quilt project together. I'll be doing a playlist because, again, I don't know how many videos I'll be making of it, but we'll come along with that. So now, right now, if you don't know what a One Block Wonder quilt is, I'm going to be putting up some pictures. of some ones that I just found. I found on the internet, and there's ones that are just the plain fabric, and then there's ones using a panel, and that's what we are going to be doing. Oh, what I did glean from it, if you're going to be choosing a panel, what I did notice is that the busier and more colorful your fabric is, the more busy and colorful your quilt's going to be, if that makes any sense. What I mean is, I believe there's one picture that I've put up that has more white around it, or more cream. Now, I believe, I didn't know which one I'm going to be using of these beautiful panels, but I think we've come to the conclusion that this panel here has more white on it. This is the Ukrainian themed fabric, and I believe I'm going to be using this beautiful girl, gorgeous, gorgeous girl in her garden. And as you see, it has more white. And when we chop up the fabric into the triangles and put them into the rows, which come into hexagons, blah, 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 there will be a little bit more relief, I think. I think that's what I've noticed, that if there is a little bit more of a relief of a white, or of a not as busy area, that it brightens up, because you're going to be using this fabric in the quilt. So again, that doesn't make any sense. You can take some inspiration from photographs if you like the project. I think I love it because I think when I was younger, I loved looking at a kaleidoscope, you know, just turning the mirrors and the little beads and the little glass, and you know, it coming up with fabulous designs and we're going to be doing that with fabric. So that's my next little project here. I'm not going to go on again. I'm going to be putting up some pictures of our son's anniversary. That was happy. We're happy. I hope you folks are happy. And if you're not, our prayers go out to you. Our thoughts and our prayers go out to all of you who are suffering or have suffered loss. It was just horrific. And I just can't wrap my head around how people are dealing with it. So anyway, thank you again, folks. I will be back to start my project whenever. And as always, love from the true loves. And take care, everybody.